Hello, it's JANG here with a look at the LEGO Creator Adventure Vehicles set. This comes with 282 pieces and it is a 3-in-1 set. You will be seeing with this, or in this one video, all three versions of all three things that you can build with the instructions that are included here officially. This is the box art build, the main one that they focus on, an off-road vehicle. And I think that it looks quite nice. The most interesting feature here is that it has a winch. You can see the hook coming out the front, but the winch isn't anywhere near the hook. The winch itself is all the way back here, so it allows it to really tuck the hook in really close into the bumper section, and back here is where you actually reel it up. I think that's nice. They actually run the string all the way through the chassis of the thing, actually beneath the floors, so you don't even see it in the driver's compartment. They've got kind of brick built or plate built doors that can be opened on either side, and the steering wheel is nice and vertical. Interestingly enough, you actually could put a minifigure in there. It's way off scale, but with the studs on the base there, it actually would work. And they do design this, or they suggest that you consider taking the doors off if you want to have just a slightly different style to the thing, you know, the doors off style, and also just remove the roof piece to get down to just a basic roll cage setup and open on the sides, really ready for going out on the rocks and such. And I think that's a good idea, and I think that it might even look a little bit more believable, a little bit more rough and tumble in that form. Yeah, I actually do definitely prefer this form. This is speaking of rough and tumble, this is a pretty playable thing. Most of the parts will stay on there pretty well. It's got a fire extinguisher back here which can be knocked off. Also the headlights can eventually be knocked off, just these outer dish pieces. But for the most part, this is pretty well ready to grab and actually play with, you know, for actual kids. And with the big tires that are kind of semi-pneumatic, you know, they're kind of bouncy, and also lots and lots of ground clearance under there, you actually really can take this over some rough terrain. So I appreciate the play value of it, and I also appreciate the display value of it for sure. This second official build is of a rescue helicopter. It's just too bad that it doesn't have skids to lift the whole body up off the ground when it's on the ground. But beyond that, I think it's shaped kind of nice in the front. I wish that they didn't have these pieces used. Just wish they didn't have the holes in them, I guess, the slits. But overall, I like the shape of the front of this. Got a couple of searchlights on the sides. You see that they've integrated the winch here on one side, and once again they've routed the cord around, the string around elsewhere, and this can actually work. So it's hooked on to there right now just to hold it in place, which I think is a good thing. And then you can just kind of let it out. You can let it out over there. You can kind of bring it back over here if you want to, kind of wherever you want to route that. Just let it stay right there. I think it's integrated pretty nicely. This version is not going to accommodate a minifigure, even if you wanted to, even though it is a lot more like minifigure size than the Jeep was, but there's not quite enough room. I guess if you took out that one piece, then you could put a minifig in there. That'd be pretty cool. I like what they've done with the engines back here, or at least with the exhaust outlets. So overall, most of the shaping of the fuselage I like quite a lot. The tail rotor, well, it's there. It spins. It's a little funky with the holes and all, but it also always wants to kind of come to a rest in that exact location, just like that, because the tiles make it a little bit heavier on the bottom. The fact that you've got a pair of pieces on this side puts a little bit more plastic over there. It always ends up resting like that. The main rotor I think is perfect, especially for the source of pieces that we get. Even kind of simulate a little bit of detail for the swash plate linkages there with the use of the small gear. I think that was a good idea. Overall, this thing looks pretty good. I just wish that it would stand up off the ground. I think that would make it look so much better. Now this is a very nice little hovercraft. I like this quite a lot. A lot. Yes, this one definitely makes me happy. It's got the 2 thrust fans on the back, or props. It again does have a winch that's built into it, and in this case you can turn this from the side over here just a little bit more difficult to get to, but you can let that out. And again, they routed the line through there pretty nicely. You can use that to tow some stuff. I appreciate that. And a little cockpit there. Again, you've got your steering wheel or your yoke set up, and this thing on the top is supposed to be like a radar bar. You can actually rotate that around a little bit because it's just a single stud worth of space that's taken up by it. And this one I think is probably closest to minifig scale of the three builds, and I think this could definitely work quite well with the minifig. It's not designed to be too easy in this case to actually get into the cockpit section, but it's not too much, you know, pain to get in there. And you see it's plenty open, so there's plenty of space. They actually have some like buttons or lights that are set up for the console there. So and then the grill pieces over there adds just a little bit of extra detail that's really not necessary and that you're really not going to see that frequently, but I appreciate it, you know, having actually, you know, when you look back at the build process of this, and you know, just being able to put those things in there. When you build it, you know that it's there, and I think it makes you appreciate it more. This also has a panel on the side that can be opened up like so. Just shows you a little bit more detail in there. I think you could put one small minifig accessory in there or something, but it's pretty much just I think it's just a little, you could either see it as being a place to work on an engine, you know, just using your imagination, or you could see that as being a lever to help control the winch, although it probably would be controlled from the inside, but you know, however you want to see that. Again, just more small details that really aren't necessary here, but make this something that I think the builder would be more proud of, you know, the person who actually buys this set and puts it together. Another nice set from the Creator line. You know, obviously the main builds, as always, is the one that has the most parts used in it, and it's probably the best finished, you know, it's the most complete and all. But I really did like that hovercraft build as well. It's just so very just creative, you know. It's just fun and really shows that a lot of thought was put into it, and a lot of imagination was used as well with the parts and making different shapes work. I think the helicopter build actually looks quite nice, and it's very functional too. I really just wish that they had put some skids on the bottom of it, you know, rather than having it be flat against the ground. But otherwise, the rest of it I think is pretty cool. So all three of these builds I think are quite worthy. I am going to favor the main build myself personally, but if that had been made with the same number of parts as the rest of the builds, then definitely the hovercraft would have been my favorite. What is your favorite though? Just, you know, your own personal feelings, your own thoughts. You know, you can be completely subjective about it. I appreciate your feedback if you're willing to leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching this. I hope that I showed you everything you wanted to see with these three builds. I hope to have a chance to talk to you again soon in my next video. Bye for now.